Hi, it's Dia. In today's video, I'm going to use an image from the Buns Artist Edition, and I'm going to be reviewing and using Crayola twistable colored pencils that I got on sale. I think it was in Staples or Target, and I got them because it says, just twist up the fun and no sharpening is needed. So there's 18 colors in here, and actually the colors on the back looked pretty decent. There was everything from cerulean blue to magenta and fluorescent pink, some of my favorite colors. So let's get to this. I'm going to open this up. Oh, they're very serious about the security of these pencils. They're taped closed. And packaged pretty nicely. So what I'm going to do is just pull them all out because I'm going to eventually use all of them on this image. And let's get started. Maybe I'll make this a little bit closer. I'm going to put that whole mushroom in there for now. I'm going to see what we can get out of this. All right, so first of all, let me look for a red. Now, is this a red? Let's see. Okay, we can roll it up. Now, upon rolling it, I don't know if you can see this. It looks kind of dusty or something. Let's put this on a piece of scrap paper. Okay, once you use it, it looks okay. Now, they come out, as you can see here, they're not sharpened. So I thought they were going to come out with a point, but you know that old saying, never assume, and you probably know the rest of it. So I have to say, these are super smooth. They kind of feel like a mixture of maybe a crayon, a pastel, and the softest pencil you can imagine. The other thing that I really like is you can probably see there is literally no fallout here. Oh, there's a little tiny piece. Now the point, let me see if I can, yeah, I'm still within frame. The lead or the crayon or whatever you want to call it is thin enough to get relatively fine details. I mean, obviously it's not, it's not sharpened to a point, but I just goofed. I was feeling exuberant and I just went right over that part that's supposed to stay white. So I'm not going to color the whole thing, but you get the idea. This is pretty pigmented. It's smooth. It's not gritty at all. Now, that's probably not a true red, like a true lipstick or blood red. I would say that that's somewhere between it. I would probably call it red orange. Let's see on the back. Yeah, the most true red is red orange. And that's probably what I'm using here. Now, is it marked on here? No, it's not. So once again, we're guessing. Now let's see. There's fluorescent orange, yellow orange, and mango. I'm going to say that those colors are in here somewhere. There's also a light brown, which might be one of these, but as you can see from the end caps, they all kind of look orangey or gold. So let's give these a whirl and see what they actually look like. Since I'm going toward the top, whoa, that's okay. That's fluorescent. So that probably I wouldn't use there. What would I use that for? I guess I could use that on the other mushroom. Now this one, this fluorescent one, is not as smooth as the red one, and there is more fallout. You can see what I'm talking about. I don't get that. I mean, it's probably the same formula, but this has happened before when I've tested pencils. You give them a whirl, and then one of them is smooth and creamy, and the next one is kind of gritty and rough. So I don't know. And I guess it could have to do with the pigment. Not quite sure. So there's the fluorescent orange, I'm assuming. This one I rolled up a little bit and it looks like it's probably the light brown. Yep. Let's see this one. Use this one toward the top because that might be where the sun would be heading. Maybe this one is mango. Now here's another super smooth one. Now let's see how they blend together. Let me get that red one again. Or red orange, I should say. I'll cover up that. Ooh, look at that. It won't cover up. So that's an interesting discovery. You can't go over and blend the fluorescent. Which one was that? Let's see. Let's make some lines through here. Could be an interesting effect. I've done something like this before in leaves with the Guanghui pencils. Let's see how this works here. Yep, same kind of thing. So you can still see that fluorescent color coming through. Okay, here is, all right, this is a pretty vibrant yellow, although I don't think it's fluorescent. I would probably say this is the golden yellow according to the chart. This one also super smooth. Let's see. Take that and put some of that over the top of it and see how it blends. This one is the mango, I think. You can see it's almost a little more orangey. Not really blending once I put it on top. So there's a little bit of, I can't say a blendability issue because it is working, but maybe they blend a little bit less than the fancier pencils. Although I have to say I'm having a good time using these, and I definitely think that I could end up with a really nice looking picture if I took the time, but I'm not gonna do this whole picture for the sake of timing for the video. Okay, now here is what I'm assuming is orchid and magenta. can use that on the bottom. Okay, that's a really pretty color. Can't say it's super dark. And as you can see, as I'm going over the red, it goes over it, but it doesn't completely show. So, okay, with these pencils, if you're going to use them in a layering fashion, I would say put the darker color down first. And let's see, let's go back with that reddish, and see if we can get it to blend that way. Okay, so if you go over the top of it, you have a better chance of blending. You can actually see the colors together. Okay, this color also super creamy. Oh, let's see if we can go over. Oh yeah, that's actually really cool. That fluorescent orange shows through really well with this darker color on top of it too. And as you can see, I'm not doing my most elegant coloring right now, but I think that's okay. And let's use this. Okay, this one is probably the magenta. This is a much lighter purple. Again, this one has a little bit more fallout. I'm wondering if the lighter colors don't have more filler, and that's why they have a little bit more fallout. Pretty color. You know what? Do I see a fluorescent green here? Okay, here's a fluorescent green, kind of like the Guanghui. Let's see if this one will do the same thing and show through. And let's color a little bit over here. Yeah, definitely a fluorescent. Not really showing up much over the top of the orange, the fluorescent orange. Okay, that's an interesting thing. This one, and I am pushing pretty hard and I am going pretty fast. As I was coloring, you can see that it started to retract as I was coloring. All right, where's that orange, the bright orange? Here we go. There also is a lime green. Oh, I thought that was going to be a fluorescent for a minute, but it's not. Next to the fluorescent, it actually looks pretty dull, but super smooth, fun to use also. Whoops. Okay, let's show the rest of these colors. This is probably yellow-green. Well, I don't know. You tell me. One of them is called lime green and one of them is called yellow green. And I'll swatch them out at the end. Okay, I put a little bit of the fluorescent down first. Let's see if we can see what this looks like and if the fluorescent shows behind it. This is actually a really nice color. What would I call this color? I don't know. It looks like something on a pond. A little bit a little bit darker than spring green. It's so pretty. And you can see that the fluorescent shows through. Whoops. I just broke that. Although I have to say that's pretty convenient. You just have to roll that right up. This one looks like aqua green. This is turning into quite a psychedelic mushroom, and I don't know if I dislike this at all. This is this is really fun. And I like the colors. The set was, I think, under $5. It's got nice bright colors. I can't say they're as pigmented as Prismacolors, and that one's a little scratchy, but not the end of the world. Okay, not as bright as Prismacolors. I would say this color, it's another really pretty color. What would I call this? Oh, look at this. As I try to go over the top, it almost like it blocks it off on certain colors. Kind of neat, kind of cool effect, but not the best blending pencils or crayons that there are. So what's this color? Kind of like a mixture of ocean and denim blue. Okay, here's blue violet. I'm going to draw some of the lines through and see if this darkest of colors, other than black in the set, colors over the top. I love to find sets like this that either have two colors in, not two, well, 5 colors in them, or 6, or less than a dozen is great. This one has 18, but few colors, because not everybody has 100 pencils. Not everybody has more than one set, and it's really cool to see what you can do with a limited amount of colors, with pencils that don't cost $300. It's kind of amazing what you can come up with. And I do think that part of it is just like giving it a whirl and not worrying too much. This one, it says it's fluorescent pink. It looks like bubblegum. This is another one that's got a little bit more fallout. And once again, doesn't really go over well. Doesn't play well with others. Doesn't go over the top very well. And let's see what this one is. I don't know. It looks like, oh, see, this looks like it almost looks like ballet pink. And then when I went to use it, it's super creamy. I'm going to fill in one of these dots with it. This is probably magenta, actually. And then on the bottom, this I'm sure is black. Oh, you know what? That might be maroon, actually. Okay, this black is probably more like a cool gray. Even if I push very hard, it's not going to show up like that black. And I'll show you what I mean when I swatch everything out. Okay. So, I was fiddling around with these a little bit. I didn't know if I was going to put this part on video or not, but I figured I might as well show you what I was doing. I don't think that I would. Well, you know what? I was going to say I don't think that I would use these, but I don't know. I might. They're kind of fun. There's like a lack of pressure attached to them. First of all, you don't have to sharpen them. Second of all, there's a limited number of colors. Third of all, I feel like when there's less colors in the set, there's less expectation, so you kind of have more of an open mind. And you might end up once again with things that you might not have come up with if you were using more serious pencils or watercolor paints or a fancy set of something else. Now, I really didn't do this part of the mushroom fancy at all. I didn't really try to get any kind of results just because I was trying to test out the colors. But as I'm messing around down here, I'm kind of just winging it. And I like the results. I like the results of the colors put together. I think this would be a great set for somebody who's just starting to color, a young person, a kid, because there's enough colors in there that you're going to get pretty results, but there's not too many that it'll be overwhelming. Plus, if it's a starter set, and I don't know about you, but I know some kids who they start everything. They want to try this and they want to try that. This is not going to break the bank. If they think they want to try coloring and then they don't end up coloring, it's not the end of the world. So you can see some fallout. So after using them for a while, I would probably say, kind of like I said in the beginning, they're a mixture of kind of a crayon and I'm trying to think, probably like a Crayola pencil. The colors are kind of like confetti, so they're fun to draw with. I think that they put enough fluorescent colors in there to make it interesting and fun for anybody. Let me see if I can get these in here. And to wrap it up, you really can't blend very well with them. So you'll probably have to color a little bit differently than you would with a typical set of colored pencils. But that's okay too. Some of the pencils are more pigmented than others. And for example here, I put down a base of this fluorescent yellow. Then I was going to go over it a little bit with the fluorescent orange, and it was really hard to use. It got gritty looking, it kind of broke apart a little bit, so I wouldn't recommend using a fluorescent on a fluorescent. Okay, you can use the darker colors over the fluorescents a little bit easier. Let's see. That's really not showing up at all. Let's try this slightly darker green. Oop, let me see if that's in frame. It is. Okay, you can get some cool effects blending the fluorescents. You know, looking back at this, I probably should have left a little white showing, or I should have drawn with the fluorescent first because that's a little bit dark there. That's okay. Let me get that dark red, or the darker. Get some shadows in there. Okay, you can go over a little bit. Cute. Got a little dimension going. That's fun. Get some green over there. I love this area in here. I love all these confetti colors or sprinkles. And whenever I see fluorescent, I actually wonder, does it show in black light? I can't tell. I have to get myself a black light so I can show when I talk about that. A little bit of blue over there for a shadowy effect, maybe? Okay, let's see if we can get some of these darker colors to show a shadow effect a little bit. Yep. I didn't think that was going to show at all because I had several layers there. Is this a masterpiece? No. But as you can see, this is fun. And there's enough colors and enough variety, like I said before. Kids would definitely have fun. So that's about it. I can't say these are on par with Prismas or Polychromos pencils, but I don't think they're supposed to be. I don't think they were made to be. For the price, I think they're a whole lot of fun. I think you can get a lot of color combos. I think you get some nice special effects with them. Like I said, you have to watch with the blending. I can't say they're the best blenders. Oh, you know what? Before I go, maybe I'm going to see if this blends at all with Turpenoid. And not that kids are going to use Turpenoid, but just for the heck of it, between us, let's see what happens. I think that it does make it look smoother. Let's see what it does with the fluorescents. I think it works with the non-fluorescents better. Oh, but you know what? Now I'm going to see if we can go over the top of this with something else. I'm going to let it dry first. Now, I didn't show you, but the set does actually have a white, which I figured was going to be a waste of time. But I'll let that dry for a few minutes and show you what the pencils actually look like swatched out. The white's right there. I actually did put it there. Where is the white? But it's literally the exact same color. So you can see that the black, like I said before, I guess you could call it black, but it's more like a dark gray. There's the red orange. No real, like I said, lipstick red. I like the maroons and the magentas, and those were very smooth feeling also. I like the fluorescents, especially for underneath other colors. So if you want to draw leaves, or you want to draw lines or indications of detail and then go over the top of those, they work better that way than coloring a large area. Okay, so let's see if we can go over the top of this now. So I think once you use Turpenoid over the top, it is easier to use these pencils. Not perfect. I don't think they're ever going to be. But okay, that's it. Just a little bit of fun for today. So once again, Crayola Twistables for anybody 3 and over. They conform to every bit of safety information. They're non-toxic,
thus safe to use.
so that's about it for now. So like I said, I would recommend these for kids, for somebody who's just beginning, for somebody who just wants to have some fun and doesn't want to have to worry about cleanup or a sharpener or any kind of fussy details. So these would be a whole lot of fun. So I hope you hit subscribe, and I hope you hit the little bell button next to subscribe so you'll be alerted and you won't miss a thing. Once again, thank you so much for being here. I love doing these videos for you, and I appreciate you all. I will see you soon. Once again, thank you, and bye-bye.
I couldn't resist. I colored more using only the twistables while I was talking on the phone and watching Moonstruck. Not a masterpiece, but boy, they're fun. Oh, P.S. I almost forgot. Stay tuned because later in the week I'm going to take this same picture, and I don't know if I'm going to use these exact same pencils or I'm going to integrate some Prismacolors and whatever else, but I'm going to see if we can make the background like Van Gogh's Starry Night. Stay tuned.